How to build a curved pergola in your backyard that your family will love. We're in the process of building our very own home on our very own land, and my imagination is running rampant with all the things I've wanted to do to our rentals. I have two small children, and it's my dream that I can allow my children to have free access to our back door so they can play in a beautifully manicured green lawn as often as they'd like. I want a privacy fence, an outdoor kitchen, hammocks for relaxing, a vegetable garden, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, I realize it'll take some time to create the art of my dreams. However, I can now consider my ideas as plans instead of dreams. One of the first things I plan to do is add function to my yard with a patio made of stone pavers, as well as some beauty and interest with the addition of an arbor. You can do this to your own yard with these instructions. Step 1. Choose the site where you'd like your patio to go and dig around the perimeter. You want to dig down 6 to 12 inches. You want to reach the subgrade and tamp the full area down with a plate compactor. Step 2. Cover the subgrade with 3 inches of 5/8 inch minus gravel, or you can use 3/4 inch crushed stone and stone dust. Step 3. Tamp it down with the plate compactor and repeat. Dampen each layer with water to keep down that dust. The marked stakes are used to help you know what's level as you pour in the gravel. Step 4. Lay out your perimeter blocks. With this patio, 2 portions of the perimeter were built up so that the wall created a built-in seating. They placed unfinished capstones on the benches of the perimeter wall, which will be finished later. Step 5. Lay down 2 inches of sand and use the plate tamper or a hand tamper to smooth out the sand and create an even surface. Step 6. Lines were marked in the sand to help guide the laying of pavers so they're straight. The pavers have arrived. It's best to order a little more than you think you'll need to account for broken pavers, and so you're less likely to run out before you're finished, delaying the project. Step 7. Start setting the pavers in a predetermined pattern. Step 8. If you're making a curved patio like shown, you'll need to use a saw to cut the last of the pavers to fit in the edges. Measure each paver, then place it where you want it to go before measuring the next paver that needs cut. You can use a power saw to cut the pavers or a wet saw, which will help reduce the amount of dust that's put in the air. Step 9. After all the pavers are set, sweep sand into all the cracks and crevices. This prevents weeds from growing up between the cracks, but its application is a little more intricate. Make sure to follow all instructions if you go with the polymeric sand. Step 10. Using a wet saw, cut the edges of the capstones on the benches for a cleaner look. Step 11. When finished, make sure you follow directions if using polymetric sand, spray off your patio, allow to dry completely, and then you can put on a sealant if you like the wet look. Now it's time to start on the arbor. Step 1. Place your vertical posts. Step 2. Plane and resaw your wood. Step 3. They use the vertical beams as their forms to curve the planed and resaw wood. Step 4. The wood is thin and pliable, and they use clamps to form it to the vertical posts. Here is a picture of the backside of the pergola/arbor. Step 5. Form the backside of the beam. You can also use a form on the ground to curve the wood, for both the front and back if you don't want to use the vertical posts. Step 6. Lots and lots of clamps were needed to form both sides of the arbor onto the posts. In order to create the desired curve, they were secured directly to the posts. I believe they also had braces between each post as well for added support. Step 7. Apply the cross sections of the pergola arbor with a nail gun. You can either stain the wood before or after Step 7, depending on preference. However, it may be easier to do while on the ground rather than above your head. Step 8. Finishing touches. Touching up the stain, adding hanging baskets and lights. Step 9. Enjoy your finished paver patio and pergola/arbor. The instructions on the original post were almost non-existent, so I tried to do some research along the way to make it more of a helpful DIY project. When I do this for my own backyard in the spring, I'll definitely post more instructions, and the do's and don'ts I'm sure I'll learn along the way. I can't wait to have my own backyard with a beautiful gathering place, and I'm willing to get my hands dirty and use trial and error to get it. Putting in the hard work just helps you appreciate the end product so much more.